Hi, it's Cassie. Welcome to the project today. We are going to make a really fun belly band for one of my journals. You can do this for any journal. This journal is full of all my art pages, and as you can see, it kind of doesn't want to close very well, and it just kind of sticks open. So I'm going to make a belly band that's going to kind of hold it together, makes it easier to store on your shelf, and it's cute. So we're going to make that today. We're using some awesome Grafix products. We have some gray opaque craft plastic, or also called DuraBright. And we have this new fun gray color that we're using. I've got a couple strips to play with. And then I'm going to be using this matte Frisket film. So I've got a sheet out here already. So we'll play with that. I'll show you how to use it. I've also got some elastic. This is just 3/4 inch elastic from the fabric store. And I've cut a piece about this size. Now, of course, your length of your DuraBright and your elastic and all of that will depend on the size of the journal that you're making. But this is a 12-inch by 1-inch piece of DuraBright, and then this again is 3/4 inches, and it is 4 inches long. So that's what we're using today. So first I'm going to start by taking some of this. This is the Frisket film. And I like to just cut random pieces out. I like to do just funky shapes and whatever. And I do kind of like wonky circles sometimes and just let them be really organic and kind of funky. But you can do whatever you want. You can use this with a die cutting machine and cut out a particular shape or a word or whatever you like. There's a million different ways you can use this. So definitely just, do whatever works for you and whatever feels good in the moment. I have used this in my die cutting machine, and it does really work great. It's not too thick, not too thin either, and yeah, I think you'll have a great time with it. So I'm just cutting a few shapes, and then we'll stick it down to our the front of our belly band. So again, I didn't really pay too much time. I mean, look, it's very wonky shape, but I love these so much. They're so fun to play with. So I'm going to decorate both of these, and then I'll pick which one I want to make into my band. But of course, you could make multiple belly bands. This is such a fun little project and can be done so quickly. And so I'm going to just peel apart the Frisket film from the protective sheet, and it's pretty sturdy. It's a pretty good thickness, not too thick, of course. You don't want it to be super thick, but thick enough that it's easy to work with and is not going to like fold on itself or be too flimsy. So this particular Frisket film is really great for craft projects like this. So I kind of use it, I cut it in half so I can get double duty out of it, especially because this is a thinner strip. And then I just pick different pieces and kind of put them wherever. This is clear, but it is a little frosty. So you can see where you've put things. We've got little like weird polka dots going on. Get one of these smaller pieces, and I just cover this whole thing. Okay, so now I have two belly bands, and if I kind of turn it, you can see where it's a little shiny. I've got pieces of Frisket film all over them. Now I made sure to just take my finger and burnish on top of where the Frisket film is, just to make sure it's sealed to the surface really well, okay? And then now I'm going to set these aside for just a second. I've got an inking palette here, which this really is a staple, and everybody should have this. They're so great to use. And I'm just going to work on it, and then I'm not getting my tabletop messy, and I can keep this sheet and not waste the material I'm putting on it and use it later for another project, which is really fun. So I've got some alcohol ink. These are from TRex. This is a blending solution. I'm putting it down first so that I can blend some of these colors. This is a shimmer ink, so I'm just giving it a quick shake so that all those fun little shimmery droplets Ooh, isn't that pretty? Nice and bright. Okay, and then, so this one is called Nuclear Yellow, and this one is called Dragon Fruit Pink, and these are from TRex. So this is just a nice, really bright pink. I love bright, fun colors. I do have this turquoise color. It's called Tidal Teal. I'm going to introduce that in a minute, but I just kind of want to get some of these lighter, brighter colors first, and I'm just going to like dip and squish. That's sometimes how I like to use this. And look at this oh my gosh, look at the orange and the shimmer. Oh my goodness, this is incredible. And the really great fun thing about using alcohol ink in this way is that if, like down here, I wanted more other color, I had a lot of yellow, you just dip. You're like, oh, I need some more pink over here. Okay, I'm gonna dip right here. Ooh, look at that. I don't want any gray showing. I just want all color. Isn't that fantastic? Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave that one that way, and then I'm gonna start this one the same way, but then I'll add some teal. Okay, so if you find that when you're working with this, and maybe you're doing a few of these belly bands and your ink is starting to kind of get dry a little bit, you can spritz it with alcohol, 99% isopropyl alcohol. I've got some in this bottle here. I just spritz it, and it looks very strange, but it sort of reactivates it. Or you can put more blending solution. That works too. So I've got a nice like orangey thing going on here. I'm going to add a little bit of this turquoise and just kind of dip and move, because I don't want it to blend too much, but I really love this deeper color that's happening. Oh, look at it. It's turning green, blue, purple. This is amazing. So I just wanted to see how it looks with just some deeper kind of color in here. Yeah, that's so gorgeous. Wow, that's really pretty. Ooh, I love this so much. The reason I didn't mix a lot of this teal is because, look, you can see it starting to happen right here. When the turquoise mixed with the orange, it starts to make a little bit of a brown. So it's okay, I don't mind this little bit, but like I do like what's going on over here, this purple and blue and green even, but if it mixes too much, it starts to get a little bit muddy. So just need to be aware of that and mindful if you're mixing cool and warm tones. So I'm going to set this aside now because I'm done with it. Well, actually what I'll do is just take off, this is my last one. All right, so I'm gonna take this off and set it aside, but I am not throwing it away because I will use it for something else. So the next step is going to be to dry these, and then we will peel the Frisket. Okay, I'm gonna put these aside for just a moment because I also have this piece of elastic, and you could just leave it white and it would be totally fine and beautiful. But I just love color way too much to leave anything white. So I've got some, this is from, let me show you, it's from Golden. It's fluorescent magenta paint mixed with a little bit of matte medium and then a tiny bit of water just to loosen it up. So I'm going to give it a quick shake here, and I've just got it in my own little spritzer bottle so that I can spray it and use it kind of like an art spray. So it doesn't spray too far. I do need a brush. Okay, so I've got my brush ready, and I'm just going to spray a little bit of this painty spray water, whatever I made here. This art spray, I mean, fluorescent magenta is by far my favorite color. And, you know, doesn't this already look like 10 times better? It's so beautiful. So just spraying it on, moving it around so I can cover all this white. Oh, okay, I've covered most of the white there. It looks really, really good. Doesn't it look so much better? Oh, I love it. I'm so excited. Okay, so now I have to dry this, and then we will put it all together, and I can't wait to show you that part. It's going to be super fun. Okay, it's mostly dry. I'm going to set it aside. It's a tiny bit wet still. We're going to set that aside, let it dry all the way, and let's take off the masking, the Frisket film, excuse me, from these belly bands, and let's see what we've got. Frisket film is so great because you saw how easy we can put this down, right? And then it's just a nice little sticker that peels up beautifully from your DuraBright or from paper or whatever material you're putting it on. And it's really just provides a nice barrier so you can do some really interesting, put some interesting patterns on your surface. So you can see how easy this is to just peel up. And I tend to like to put it off the edge so I can easily grab the edge of it, but really you can just do whatever you want. It's going to be great. And then I have these fun kind of wonky circle-y type shapes that I can have either as a background or just as the pattern. I'm going to let these be sort of abstract. I mean, look at how cool that is. Then we can see part of the gray DuraBright behind it. Now, of course, even if you used black or white DuraBright, this would work great. If you're using black DuraBright, you need an alcohol ink. You need to use like a pearl alcohol ink so that it has so it has some opacity, right? Because regular alcohol ink is translucent. So that would be the only difference, but otherwise, everything we just did here, you could do on any of the colors of the DuraBright. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. My fingers are sticky from all of the alcohol ink. But I say if you don't have messy hands, then you haven't played long enough. That's my rule. Okay, so these are both pretty different, but equally gorgeous. I love them very, very much. So there's the Frisket film. That's what it does for you. It just protects the area so that you can work around it and peel it off later. Now, another thing you can do, we put it straight onto the DuraBright without anything on it, but what if you put some color down first and then put the Frisket film on top and then put more color down around that, and when you peel it, that color that was underneath will shine through, you know? So really the sky's the limit with this. Before we move on to put this all together though, I do want to highlight around these areas. So I just can't get enough of the chrome ink marker lately, and so I think that'd be super fun. So let's just try it at least for this first one. We could do both of these differently. You could make a ton of these. I mean, if you're an art journaler, for sure, you probably have several art journals that might benefit from having a belly band. But you could use it for a notebook, for, you know, for school, or for just like a journal for writing. You could use it for all sorts of things. You could use it even for like scrapbooks and stuff. There we go. Can you see the shininess of that chrome? Isn't that fun? Oh, I love it. I think I want to do it to the other one too. I was going to maybe do white on this one, but I just love the chrome so much. It's so fun. So let's just do that to this one as well. We'll keep it fun and bright and shiny. Okay, I've got my sewing machine over here. This is my craft one. It's a Janome, and it's very strong and durable for things like this. So I'm just gonna do both belly bands. And so if I can just show you right here, what I'm going to do is put this elastic on the underneath side, okay? Just maybe 1/2 inch overlap, okay? And then I'm going to sew it here and on the seam, and I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done. I was going to do the sewing off screen, but I thought it would be fun to just show you while I'm doing it, and you know, just kind of do it together. So here we go. It's going to be loud, but I'll fast forward this part, but let you see it still. And just so you know, I'm running a zigzag stitch. Okay, if I show you the first one here now, I'm just going to do this 3 more times, okay? So if you look from the back, I've got the 2 stitches there. I stitched here first to hold it together, and then I stitched along this edge so that this little flat part doesn't like stick up and get caught on stuff. And you'll notice I have pink thread on the top. I have white on the bobbin and on the bottom in my bobbin. But you know, you can use whatever color you want. I just thought, why not have some fun pink thread to go with it? So I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm just going to make it into a loop now, okay? And I'm going to let this overlap about 1/2 inch again, sew it along this line, and do the same thing. Okay, there's that side. So now I have my first belly band is complete, and it's nice and stretchy, and it will go around whatever journal I want that's within that reasonable size. I'm just going to make the other one real quick and do the exact same thing. The last thing I actually want to point out here is that I went over this stitch 3 times. So I went 1, back, and 1. Okay, so 3 passes just to make sure it's nice and sturdy and it's not going to fall apart. And check this out, our belly bands are done. I'm so excited. They're beautiful. Look at the beautiful colors. This has some warm and cool colors in it, a lot of rich tones, really, really beautiful. I love the way that chrome outlines and looks really great with the gray DuraBright. And then this one's just a little bit brighter, also really, really gorgeous. I love the pink with the yellow, and then the way that it made that nice orange there. Anyway, and then of course the pink elastic is my favorite. So I just want to show you how you can put these on your journal. Remember, this journal is like just big and open and kind of like, it's hard to put on the shelf, and it's really thick and whatever. So there's a couple ways that you can put these belly bands on your journal. So I just make sure that the elastic is in the back. But you know, my elastic here is pink. If you've done the same thing, you could definitely put it in the front. It's super cute. But I really like this pattern here that we've made. So again, see, it just holds it all together really nicely, keeps it nice and mostly flat and secure. You can put it on the bookshelf and store all your journals together if you have a bunch of them, and it's super cute. Look at the stitching, and the pink elastic is just so darling. So that's one way to do it. The other way is vertical. So, you know, whatever way feels right for you. If you've decorated the journal cover, maybe, you know, one way or the other is going to look better, but this is a square journal, so obviously this belly band is going to work both ways. So just keep that in mind. When you're creating yours, if you don't have a square journal, then you need to decide, are you making it to be vertical or horizontal from the start? So there it is. And look at, I love the vertical way. That looks really nice. And again, it just keeps it really nice and sturdy and put together. So there we go. We've got our two belly bands made with Frisket film and gray DuraBright and some really fun alcohol inks. So if you liked this video and would like to see more videos from me, please consider liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel. And if you want to learn more about Graphic Arts products, you can visit graphicarts.com. Thanks. Have a good day.